Hello, back again to do another unboxing and review. Today we're going to be looking at a universal gaming headset from a company called dreamGEAR. This is the GRX-350 Universal Advanced Wired Gaming Headset. Alright, so let's start off here. dreamGEAR. This is, I believe, the second item I've reviewed from dreamGEAR. And the first one was good enough that, well, I bought something else from them. So, what is dreamGEAR? Well, from what I understand, dreamGEAR is that produces things such as gaming headsets and whatnot. Is that the products are designed and engineered in the USA and manufactured in China. Alright, so, and I have a little literature here from the manufacturer, and I'll zoom in. Alright, so I'll read it out. Works with the Xbox One, PS4, Xbox 360, PS3, Wii, Wii U, and PC. GRX-350 is the gamer's choice when performance and versatility are needed. 40mm drivers deliver explosive game sounds. Not playing alone, advanced circuitry in the microphone ensures a consistent, clear chat experience. Extra padded cushions won't fatigue your ears during long gaming sessions. Need a break from the game? GRX-350 works with your PC, gaming consoles, and mobile audio devices. Then it has some features there, which essentially is just a repeat of what I already read. So we'll go over here to the specifications. You can see we have a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Driver size, as we know, is 40mm. Impedance is 32. And then sensitivity is 105 plus or minus 4 decibels. Alright, and then what's included in the kit, you get the headset, then there's the PC Mac adapter, an Xbox 360 adapter cable, and a user guide. Alright, so with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look around the box here. Alright, so first of all, this is retail ready, as you can see. We have a retail hanger here at the top. This is kind of a somewhat flexible plastic, so it should hold on. You shouldn't have to worry about the paper tearing and having the box fall off the rack. So next, we can see here we have that, okay, the name of the item they put up right front, Universal. You can see all the different systems it works with. We already read those out. The little icons there are just talking about the 40mm drivers. There's a mic and a mute switch, and then that is an inline volume control. And that would be that little guy right there, the inline remote. We get an idea of what the actual headset looks like by this relatively realistic looking picture here. And also it says it's for mobile devices. Okay, going around the corner here, you can actually can see what looks to be almost half of the item. And the side that we get to see is also the side that has the microphone boom. And you can see it's flipped up. Alright, that's pretty cool. And then on the back, those little boxes there, again, are just talking about the drivers and whatnot, and basically the stuff I already read out from the piece of paper. Alright, and then they show an up-close picture of the inline volume control. And I'm going to zoom in on this part over here because there's some important information for older Xbox One. Alright, so there you can, I'll let you read that for yourself, but basically those are the things you have to do if you have an older Xbox One. And then I suppose you need that thing, which hopefully you're familiar with if you have that system. Alright, and then we just have all those other systems it can work for. And they add there the Nintendo handheld systems. So, okay, and there's the barcode. So, alright, now let's go ahead and look real quickly how it's secured as far as keeping it closed. You have these, what they look to be, they're stickers essentially, but they're basically tape, but they have actual defined shapes, so they're more like stickers. You can see that one, how it's kind of round there. There's one there, there's one there, and there's one there. So all three parts that lift up are secured, and then we have the same type deal going on the bottom there as well. Alright, so overall impression of the packaging, I'm liking it. I think it's actually pretty clever. Because you get two views of the item. You get that real clear picture there, and then you also get to see, like I said, about half of the item itself in this little greenhouse that they have here on the side. And something tells me they must be pretty proud of this item, because to build a packaging as we see here with all that plastic, on the sides, it's actually, of course, more expensive than just having a box. So, yeah. And another good thing is you also it's a good way of checking to make sure that the item you're buying hasn't been manhandled, because that plastic on the side will dent very easily, so it also helps the customer in a way, beyond just seeing it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to the unboxing here. I've already removed the little tapes on the top that were closing the lid. So, pop this open. Pull up the whole thing there. Nothing else in the box. Okay. There it is. Oh, okay. Nice little stand there. Alright. So, our little stand is made out of cardboard. Inside the middle silo, we have our instruction manual. And, okay, we got some adapters. Let's look at those. Some cables. Huh. Alright, so, I'll put this aside for just right now. Okay, so these cables, they have this nylon, and it's, yeah, braided. Pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that. And then it looks like our leads, that might be gold plated. Okay, so we have two different cables here. This looks to be, okay, one of these is as, what was it? One was the Xbox 360 cable, and then the other one was a PC adapter. So I'm gonna venture and say that this one with the smaller jack, yeah. So the smaller plug here, this must be the cable for the Xbox 360, and I'm assuming this is the PC adapter here. These look to be 3.5 millimeter, both of these. And yeah, so two males and then to one female side here. Okay, and the instruction manual. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the headset now. Okay, so first impressions, we do have some padding, a good amount of padding here. Now I can feel the band inside here, but there's a fair amount of padding. It's not the thickest padding I've ever felt, but again, as you can see, there's some deformation, room for deformation there, especially like right there. Okay. Then we have dreamGEAR written on the top. Okay, let's talk about the part that you're going to be putting on your ears. Okay, well, there's quite a bit of cushion here, so they weren't lying. There's let's see if I can give you an idea. So here's my finger. See how much cushion there is, and you can push that all the way down. So, and it springs back pretty well too. I know it's brand new, but still, there's a good amount of spring there. Okay, let's talk about motion. So you have, okay, so they fold up in like that. Then they also turn this way. So we have pivot and fold up. Okay, over here. Oh, I should look at the sides. Okay. I'm trying to see if these are metal. No, these are plastic here. So pretty much everything I've touched so far has been plastic. Okay. Okay, let's test out this mic here. Okay. So as you can see, this part here is a different color than that or that. That's because this is flexible and this part is stiff. Okay, so if you're going to adjust your mic, I recommend you turn it here, not here, so you don't put stress on that. Okay, so you can feel there are multiple, I can feel, but you can probably see that there are multiple stop points. Yeah, so there's a good amount of different options as where you want to leave this. Okay, then this thing here is flexible. Oh, I should tell you, this feels, yeah, this is pretty rubbery feeling, and it is, yeah, it is textured compared to that being smooth. This says grippy, because, yeah, it's like rubber. Alright, then let's look at the inside of the mic here. Alright, you can see there are the holes. The inside of that. I wonder if this... Okay, so I was wondering if this would stay, and like if you bent it here, would it stay like that? No, so, I mean, okay, well, yeah, you can see it conforms a little, but it does overall want to go back to its default position right there. Okay, let's just slide that up. Leave that there for right now. As far as the sides, left, right, or didn't put it on the inside. Okay, and then connection. This cable here is that same braided, I'm assuming nylon, as the other cables that were supplied. Let's go ahead and take this cable out of this box here. I've been dragging this thing around. Okay. Alright. So here's the inline volume control. Let me zoom in. Alright, that's better. So we have volume, mic on off. So it's a simple slide switch up there. And there's your volume wheel. Alright. Little sticker. I'll end up probably removing this, but okay. And then here is the actual, so we can see we have 3 little bands there because the microphone is included, so that makes sense. And that also looks to be plated. So, alright. So, okay, first impressions. It's actually pretty cushy feeling, so, meaning there's a good amount of, actually quite a bit of amount of padding here, so that's a plus. I'm not feeling any metal. Everything's either this cushy stuff or plastic, but at the same time it doesn't feel cheap. And it would, well, again, I'm kind of comparing it to my, Razer has the metal, but anyways, that's not this price point. So but since it is plastic, at least the plastic feels good. It kind of has this very, very slightly rubberized texture to it. And it oh, we should of course do the adjusting the headband, right? So that's max right there for that side, and of course the other side does the same amount. Yeah, there's some kind of ratcheting, but overall it's not like somewhere it goes click, 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 click. So, I mean, between each of the stops, it's really easy to move to the next stop. So I think it's going to be put it on your head and adjust it. I don't think you're going to be able to leave it here and have it stay here because it only takes not too much force to move it, as you can see. So, yeah, but it does adjust. So, alright, so about this adapter here, I wanted to cover this before we went any further. So this is the PC adapter, the one that, well, as you can see, has the 3 ends here. Now, this end here, the female, is where the actual headset connects into. Okay, so this goes in there, and then these 2 ends go into your PC, and it might not come up on the camera here, but there's a little icon. I think you can see here, this one is the headphones, so that would go in, well, you guessed it, the headphone jack, and then this one here has a little microphone symbol, and that goes into where your microphone port is. Now, that it said if your PC has 2 different ports, one for the headphones, one for the mic, you're supposed to use this. Otherwise, I assume you would just plug these straight in. But since mine does have 2, I will be using this. Alright, so I've been using these for a few weeks now. Mainly I've had them attached to my computer, but I have also tested them with a few other devices as well. So let's get into, well, how they perform. So, first
and probably most important question is, do they work? And yes, they do. All right, how do they sound? Actually, surprisingly good. I wasn't expecting to get the sound quality out of these that I am, so that's a definite plus. Let's talk about comfort. We went into earlier how these have quite a bit of cushion here, and this cushion seems to actually do the trick. I was able to wear these for some relatively long gaming sessions, and I didn't notice any discomfort. Now, but since we're talking about this, let's talk about this ear cup size. Unlike my Razer Krakens, these do not go over your earlobe. So with my Krakens, for example, this part would actually be touching the side of my head, and my ear would be in here. Well, obviously these are smaller, so that's not quite how these work. Instead, your ear ends up essentially resting on this rim here, and then because it deforms, it kind of wraps around and creates a seal. And then you get some good music quality because of that. But if you were going to wear these for quite a long time, so we're now talking hours, you will eventually notice, if you're like myself, you'll start to actually feel that there's something on your on your head, namely around your ears. And that's because even though these are very soft, after hours of having your earlobe be ever so slightly compressed, it finally starts to add up, and you get to the point where you kind of can feel you have your headset on. It doesn't mean it's painful, just means, well, now it's kind of somewhat noticeable, all right? But again, that doesn't come for many hours down the road, so I really wouldn't worry about that. So I'm going to say these are actually quite comfortable. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about just the whole folding up. So you can do this here, and of course you can do that with the other side as well. But you still have to deal with this mic. Now, you can put it over here and kind of do that. So if you put it in your bag, okay, there we go. We got it all as tight as it's going to get here. You know, that would fit in like a backpack or whatnot. Unlike some others, this microphone does not retract into like this part here. So yeah, you're just going to have to do something with this. But as you can see, it's relatively bendy, especially around this midsection, so it can just fold down like that. The other way you could do it if you wanted is you could go like this. I probably wouldn't recommend this because this doesn't have support now, and if you push hard enough it could break. So let's just wrap it that way. Alright, so that's about as much as they fold. Okay, now we're gonna talk about this here. So yeah, this works. Volume up, volume down, and mic on, mic off. It doesn't get more simple than that. And yes, it does work. I haven't noticed any problems with this, but again, I've only been using this for a few weeks, so I don't know how this will hold up years plus. I'm not sure, but so far it's working. Okay, now with all that said, let's go ahead and I want to talk about the sound quality coming out. We're going to get to the mic, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about that. Well, let's just talk about the sound quality coming out here. I already told you that I was impressed with it. So, but a little more detail on that. These actually do have a good amount of bass to them. So you will get that kind of nice, round, robust bass. Also, the other pitches and sounds also do get reproduced quite well on these. Interesting example that was, I was watching YouTube, and before the video started, there was an advert came on for some product, some service they were selling, and so they had a couple people giving testimonials about how great it was. And so you had a couple, there was a guy, and I think there was a woman, and maybe another person, but anyway, 3 different people, and they had distinctive voices, okay? And they all came through here really well, so you could really pick up on the different, yeah. So, they reproduce a wide range of sounds, not just oomph, oomph, oomph. Okay. Alright, so now we're at the point in the vid where I'm going to go ahead and discuss what doesn't work very well with this device. So I guess you could call this the problems and issues. Alright, so all those problems are going to stem from this right here, the microphone. And no, I'm not talking about how it doesn't stay where you leave it. That's minor. The big issue here is the fact of how it picks up sound, or should I accurately say, doesn't pick up sound very well. Okay, now that also, to make it more tricky, it also depends on sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And we'll get into what that makes the difference. But let me first start off by telling you my experience while I was playing. I decided to play 2 games. Both games, of course, allow you to chat with allies. And so I was trying that, and I noticed that, well, guess what? No one could hear me. First of all, I was wondering, are people ignoring me? But then I realized no, because when I'm talking, the little symbol next to my screen name, you know, the one that looks like a speaker with little sound waves coming out of it, that wasn't coming up. So I realized, okay, something's wrong. Went back into Windows, pulled up Sound Recorder, and I went ahead and recorded a little sample clip, and that's here.
This is a mic test of my new dreamGEAR gaming headset. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Alright, so as you can hear, the microphone works, although it seems to make everything sound really, really quiet. Okay, then I went back into the game, and I decided I'd try to chat with again as we were playing. And again, no one could hear me. So, getting frustrated, I decided I would just basically scream what I was trying to say. And oh, guess what? All of a sudden it works. So, I think I figured out what's going on here. Essentially, this microphone, at least when you're playing a game, and importantly, when it's connected to your computer using this, remember this is the adapter, you know, so the headphones connect into the adapter. We've covered this already, and then these are the things that are plugged into your computer right there. So when it's plugged in like that, you essentially have to scream in order to be heard. Alright, so figuring that the microphone was broken, I decided, well, or not working very well, I decided let's go ahead and take this out of the picture here. So taking off this adapter, now keep in mind I can't connect it to my PC, but I can only connect it to things that only have one 3.5 millimeter jack, such as tablets and smartphones. So I went ahead and connected this to my smartphone, and I decided I'm going to make a call. So I did make a call, and I had a whole conversation with the person on the other side, on the other end of the line, and guess what? They could hear me just fine. So it seems that this microphone works when you are only using this. Use this, however, and you essentially lose your microphone. Okay, so maybe this is the problem, right? That's what I thought. So I ordered another one. Not from this company, from a different company. Again, it's the same thing, but it's just made by someone else. Looks a little different, but the same deal. And, well, I had the same issue. Alright, so I thought, you know what? Maybe it's just this unit. Something's not working right in here. And so what do? Boom, that's right. I got another one. So I went through all the same tests, and guess what? Same issue. If I use the hardware that comes with it, problem. If I use the other adapter from another company, the one that looks much like this, same problem. So this is not just this one or this one. It seems to be that the way this is constructed, this unit, this device, this model number, yeah, this microphone cannot handle being split with an adapter. All right. Okay, so I guess here we have two of them, right? Okay, so would I recommend these? No, I wouldn't recommend it unless you were going to only use this for, like I said, a smartphone or a tablet. And if you do go that route, keep in mind, since this here has no multifunction button, when you get a phone call, you can't just push a button on here. You're going to have to pull the phone out of your pocket and answer a call by swiping or tapping or whatever. And then you can talk, and it'll be great. And then when you want to hang up, either the other person will hang up, or you will have to, again, take your phone out of your pocket, bag, whatever, and hang up the call. So if you don't mind doing that, you could use this as a headset for your phone, or perhaps while you're playing on your tablet. But I can't really call these universal because, well, the reason I got them for, being on the PC, it doesn't quite work. Well, at least it doesn't work well. You know, and that's a shame because the sound coming out of here going into your ears is actually quite good. So I just wish they hadn't cheaped out on the microphone because in the end, if you're going to sell a gaming headset, the microphone is kind of a big part.